Good YouTube, welcome back to another video. So, Night of Champions is this Saturday, and I want to give you guys my predictions for that card and what I think is going to happen on that card, and where I think these matches and potentially what these storylines could potentially lead to if they do continue to progress. So, at the time of recording this video, we have 6 matches. Now, some of these matches did end up being last minute because of some things that may have happened with some of the talent who may not be going to Saudi Arabia with everything that is currently going on right now with the war and everything like that. So um, they feel as if they should skip one of the matches that we did know that was potentially going to be taking place, but no longer is. Was for the Intercontinental Championship between Dominic and AJ Styles. The match looked like it's going to be postponed. I can see it being on a Raw or potentially maybe leading to a match at Saturday Night Main Event because we know that's in a couple of weeks, so they might want to add that match there. So we'll see if that where that does end up happening and whatnot. But we're gonna go through these matches. At the first match, we have Sami Zayn versus Karrion Kross. Now, this is good for Karrion Kross just because he gets an opportunity to be on a PLE. I think the last time he was on a match in a PLE match was WrestleMania 40. And if we're talking singles capacity, all the way back into 2022 when he had that feud with Drew McIntyre at Extreme Rules, that was the last time he had a singles match on a PLE. So, been quite some time. But you know, Karrion Kross has been getting more and more over with the crowd. The crowd love them some Karrion Kross. We do know that his contract is going to be expiring very, very soon. So maybe this is a way to get more momentum behind Karrion Kross and everything like that. I'm not sure. Hopefully it does. Now, Sami Zayn, I thought would be in the King of the Ring finals, but unfortunately that's not the case here. But we kind of knew. I feel like when he had that exchange with Karrion Kross, I want to say last week, um, it felt like Karrion Kross could potentially get involved in that match and potentially be the reason that Sami didn't win his match with Randy on SmackDown. But no, Karrion Kross didn't get involved. Karrion Kross stayed away from Sami Zayn during that match, and Sami Zayn lost clean on his own. So this is what they're falling back on, doing Sami versus Karrion. I do expect Sami Zayn to get the win here. Sami Zayn is very, very popular when he goes to Saudi Arabia, so I do expect him to get the win. But I do hope in the grand scheme of things they can make Karrion Kross look good throughout the match and even defeat to get more momentum behind him, even in a loss. So we will see. But my prediction is Sami Zayn to get the win. The next match is a match that was just recently announced, that being Rhea Ripley versus Raquel Rodriguez in a street fight. Now, originally, the match that was supposed to be taking place on this show was supposed to be Liv Morgan and Io Sky for the Women's World Championship, but we all know Liv Morgan suffered an unfortunate injury, which is going to sideline her for about 7 months. So it does not look like she will be any factor here at all. So we kind of had to scrap a few things going into Night of Champions, Evolution, and even SummerSlam. Even so, it kind of they have to pivot a lot of different things. But this is a good thing for Raquel because Raquel looked strong on running. I will say that. For whatever reason, the way they're painting the story, they're making Raquel look strong, and I'm surprised they're making her look strong when they could have been doing this when Liv Morgan was still there. But as soon as Liv Morgan takes a step back because of the injury, her and Roxanne literally were able to work together to get the upper hand on Rhea Ripley, and that's something we don't see very often for a lot of the talent. We see a lot of the times where Rhea Ripley is the one to stand tall, but Roxanne was the difference maker here, and we know that Raquel and Roxanne do have their history going back to their NXT days, so maybe that does come to fruition, and that gets brought up in this story because I think this Judgment Day story is going to continue and everything like that, but I do think what we're gonna see here. I would love to see Raquel get the win here. That would be a huge win. That would be a huge win here in the grand scheme of things. And you can have Roxanne be a huge dividend. I do expect Roxanne to make her presence felt in this match in some way, shape, or form. And there is a way for Raquel to get a win over here, get the win here, and not diminish anything with Rhea Ripley because Rhea Ripley can still look strong even in defeat. So I do think that is something that you could potentially be able to get away with here. But I'm going to do a safe pick. I do expect Rhea Ripley to get the win here, and I do expect Roxanne to get involved as well. But I feel like Rhea Ripley is going to win this match because I think they're setting things up between her and potentially Io Sky to run it back for the Women's World Championship, maybe at either Evolution or maybe even at SummerSlam. So if that is going to be the case, I do expect you potentially get Rhea Ripley the win here. The next match is for the United States Championship. We have Jacob Fatu defending against Solo Sakoa. Solo Sakoa and Jacob Fatu recently been having a war of words. Jacob finally snapped on Solo Sakoa back at Money in the Bank, costing him the briefcase, and he said those few words that we all was waiting for. I hate you, Solo, and he did. And then now we're at where we are now, where they're competing for the championship. Now, me personally, I did not think this was going to happen this early. I thought they were going to save this match and drag it out as much as they can possibly till SummerSlam. So I'm surprised that we're doing it here. Now, this match is very, very unpredictable. The reason why is because, yes, Jacob Fatu is very dominant and he can easily win this, but we do know that Solo Sokoa is going to have JC Mateo with him. We know it's a possibility that maybe the Tongans surprisingly make their return to help Solo. And we also know Hikuleo made his recent appearance on main event just last week. So and they already said they have plans to introduce him in the Bloodline storyline. So who's to say that maybe Jacob loses the title because Solo brings in Hikuleo, and we have Hikuleo and Jason Mateo until the Tongans get back, and then this makes Jacob Fatu lose the title, but he still looks strong to defeat because I always said if Jacob loses the title, he's not gonna lose it clean. I feel like there's going to be some shenanigans that cause him to lose the title, or he loses the title in a potential multi-man match. So that's the only way I can see him winning. Losing the title, I would say. So it's a possibility that we could be sitting here saying Solo is going to be your next U.S. championship, and I think it's a possibility. But for me, I think Jacob Fatu will retain the U.S. championship. I think you're going to drag the story out a little bit more. I can see them dragging this out maybe to SummerSlam because I think that's the next PL, a big PLE after this. I know we still have Evolution, we still have Saturday Night Main Event. I don't see them doing another U.S. title defense on Saturday Night Main Event, so I think they probably would wait until SummerSlam to do it. So that's what I think that's what's gonna happen. The next match is the Queen of the Ring Finals. We have Asuka versus Jade Cargill. Now Asuka, she just came back and she's making some noise. I'm glad that they brought back her old theme song. This definitely, just is a great callback to her when she first came up. They're making her feel like how she used to be when she first came with the main roster, where she was that dominant presence again, and I love that. But Jade Cargill's been on a run of her own as well since coming up to the main roster. I think we all know that Jade Cargill is going to be a focal point of your women's division. I think I would love to see Asuka win this because you have two different pathways you can use with both of these potential people winning, and it's very unpredictable because, like I said, there's two stories you can do regardless of who you have win. If you have Asuka, you can do Asuka and Io, which people really want to see, and if you have Jade Cargill win, you could do Jade Cargill and Tiffany, even though people really wouldn't want to see Jade and Tiffany, but we know what's gonna happen if we do get Jade and Tiffany. That being, we're gonna see Naomi potentially cash in and then cost Jade Cargill her moment, and then we can lead into that big three match with Bianca, Jade, and Naomi for the women's championship, which I think people really want to see, myself included. So there's a story there if you were to do it. Me personally, I would not mind seeing Asuka win this. I would not mind, but I think they're going to give it to Jade Cargill here. I would be surprised if Asuka got the win, and I would not be mad if Asuka got the win. Don't get me wrong, but I do expect Jade Cargill to become your queen of the ring to set up the match between her and Tiffany at SummerSlam because they were teasing this literally right after Mania. And pretty much we've been seeing them in backstage, segments, and we've been seeing Naomi in the background. So I do think they're gonna lead into that. So I do think Asuka will unfortunately lose this, but I do think Asuka could still find herself in contention for a potential opportunity at the championship at none other than SummerSlam or even Evolution. I do think it's a possibility that we could lead into that. But I'm going to say Jade Cargill will become your queen of the ring. The next match is a King of the Ring finals. We have Cody Rhodes versus Randy Orton, a dream match that we've all been wanting. I know people say why it's not at Mania. Well, not every big match or big feud has to be on a Mania. It doesn't. they all these dream matches that we fantasy book don't always have to be at WrestleMania. They don't always have to be. You could still set things up and do things on B-level pay-per-views and doing things on other shows. It's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. It's still gonna be able to cook and be able to get the point across what we want to know, and that is potentially having Randy and Cody going at each other. And I think this match is gonna be really good. Um, I would love to see Randy get there, but we already seen kind of Randy and Cena go at it at Backlash. So I feel like that chapter is kind of concluded. So I do think Cody Rhodes will win here, and I think we're gonna do Cody and Cena at SummerSlam as their rematch from WrestleMania 41. So I do expect Cody to win here. And in the main event of the evening, which is for the WWE Undisputed Championship, we have John Cena defending against CM Punk. A huge match, a match that I think a lot of people remember that brought them back into wrestling. At least that pipe bomb back in 2011 brought a lot of people back into wrestling, and now we're seeing it again. I'm looking forward to this match. I do expect potentially maybe we'll get a potential tease of a cash in here. I even see also before my prediction, I think we might get the return of Roman Reigns in this match. The reason being, I see Seth Rollins trying to cash in here, or maybe teasing it. Roman stops him so they can set up Roman and Seth for SummerSlam. I think that is a match that they want to do. I think you need to have him come back so you can in time to build up his match at SummerSlam, because I don't think Roman's going to be left off SummerSlam. So I think you need to bring him back in time to set up his feud or match, wherever it may be, at SummerSlam. So why not do it here? I think that'd be a great way to bring him back and reintroduce him in the eyes of fans and stuff like that. So I do expect that to happen, but I do expect John Cena to retain here. I think the ultimate goal is between him and Cody. I could see maybe Seth Rollins getting involved in that, and then we could do a triple threat at something. I can see that happening as well, but I would love to see CM Punk win. Don't get me wrong. I would love to see CM Punk win this. I don't think people would be upset if CM Punk won. I think if you're looking at if anybody was able to take that title from him outside of Cody, it is Punk, in my personal opinion. So I would love to see that potentially happen, but I don't think that is going to happen. So I'm going to say your winner and still your WWE Undisputed Champion, John Cena. But those are my predictions for Night of Champions this Saturday. Comment down below. Let me know your predictions for Night of Champions this Saturday as well. Who do you guys have winning these matches and why? Road to 2,000 subscribers. Let's goal is 10,000 by the end of 2025. Super kick that like button. Helps my channel get pushed across the platform so more people can see what I'm doing over here on YouTube. Superman punch that post notification bell so every time I post a new video, where it's a reaction video, rant video, live stream, predictions video, any type of video. You could be a loop of things. When I do drop a video, and spirit the subscribe button. Takes 3 seconds out of your day. Do those 3 things for me. Helps in progression of my channel as well. But with that being said, hope everybody has a great day, great rest of your week, and I'll see you guys in the next video.